What's going on, guys? Play-by-play game here, back with another episode of the video. Today we're talking about the secret shop and whether or not it's worth to roll the shop. So let's get started. Just to preface this, I did do 1,000 Skystones worth of secret shop refreshes. I'm gonna try to put that here in the video as I'm kind of going through this so that you can see the process. It did take me quite a while. I think the total video length was maybe like 20 minutes. So it took me 20 minutes of actual sitting there, clicking the button and refreshing the shop until I got something good. So I was looking for Covenant Bookmarks and Mystic Medals, specifically Mystic Medals. I want to get as many Mystic Medals as possible to prepare for ML Crown. So here we go. All right, so to start things off, let's talk about gold. So in order to refresh the shop, you're gonna need a lot of gold. I started off with 187 million gold, 455,690 gold. After 1,000 Skystones, I ended up with 183 million. So there's a difference there of 4.3 million gold. So if you do plan on refreshing the shop, one, you need a lot of gold. I would say if you're gonna go 1,000 Skystones worth, have at least 4 to 5 million gold. And that's just to cover Covenant Bookmarks and Mystic Medals. That's not taking into account any gear that you might come across, okay? So moving on, Skystone. So I started off with 101,700 Skystones, and I ended at 100,695 Skystones. So I spent a little bit over 1,000 Skystones. I went over by 5. So I spent 1,005 Skystones. Covenant Bookmarks, as I was refreshing the shop, I started off with 2,395 Covenant Bookmarks, and I ended up with 2,475. So I actually was able to get 80 Covenant Bookmarks. So 80 Covenant Bookmarks was definitely worth. That's, I think, something that all of us are usually low on, right? Covenant Bookmarks. This is especially helpful if you're trying to pity a certain hero. But just to give you an extent as to how many pulls that is, that's like 16 pulls, right? So I got 16 pulls worth of Covenant Bookmarks for 1,000 Skystones. Mystic Medals, I started off with almost 4,000, so 3,969 Mystic Medals, and I ended up with 4,219 Mystic Medals. So the difference between the two was 250 Mystics. So I was able to get about 5 sets of Mystic Medals. So each Mystic Medal, each Mystic summon that you do is 50 Mystic Medals, as you see here. I was able to get 5 of these to pop up. So that's roughly 200 Skystones per 50 set. So for every 200 Skystones that I refresh the shop, 1 set of these 50 Mystic Medals would pop up. Now just keep in mind that each of these is 280,000 gold. Each Covenant Bookmark that you get, these are 184,000. So that's why I mentioned if you're going and you're actually getting pretty lucky and you're getting a lot of these Covenant Bookmarks and Mystic Medals, this could add up. So just kind of keep that in mind. This right here, this image is the jackpot, what you want to see every time that you refresh the shop. So more than likely, you're only going to see one of these here. You'll see either a Covenant Bookmark or Mystic Medals. However, you might get lucky and see both at the same time. Now you can't get double, or you can't get all of these filled with Covenant Bookmarks. That would be amazing, but you can only get one, right? So you can only get 1 set of Covenant Bookmarks and 1 set of Mystic Medals. But this is what you want to see, right? This is kind of jackpot. From time to time, you'll just see one or the other. It has happened where you get both of them at the same time. If you do, consider yourself lucky, buy both of them, right? So another big disclaimer, if you're going specifically for Mystic Metals, be prepared to spend at least 200 Skystones before you see your first Mystic Metal. So that's about average. Now, depending on your luck, you might see a Mystic Metal before you hit the 200 mark. You might see a Mystic Metal a little bit after you hit the 200, but 200 is usually, based on my experience, about how many Skystones you need to spend in order to see a Mystic Metal, okay? So it's one of those things that it just really depends on what you're going for. So let's take a look here real quick at what the cost is if we're going just for Covenant Bookmarks. So if we're going for Covenant Bookmarks, it's gonna cost us 184,000 gold. So if we were to buy the packs from just the regular shop, for 100 Skystones, we would get 5 Covenant Bookmarks. So that's about 20 Skystones each. So if we were to pick up this one here, the 5 Covenant one, each bookmark would cost us about 20 Skystones. If we were to purchase the 950 Skystone pack, which comes with 50 Covenant Bookmarks, that's about 19 Skystones each. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you want to go specifically for Covenant Bookmarks, let me scroll back up here. Based on my 1,000 Skystones, these 80 Covenant Bookmarks that I was able to get, which is 16 pulls. So the difference here is I got 16 pulls worth of Covenant Bookmarks, and here for these 50, you only get 10. All right, you get 10 Covenant Bookmarks, or 10 pulls, I'm sorry. So these 80 came out to about 12 and a half Skystones per Covenant Bookmark. So comparing this 12 and a half Skystone per Covenant Bookmark to the 19, that's a lot less, right? So if we were to put that in terms, let's say it's 20 Skystones. If we were to round it down just a bit, it's a little bit, it's almost close to half, right? It's like 50% off. It's very close. It's a little bit off, maybe like 40 something, right? Like 47, 46, something like that. But it's really, really close. And I think that it's definitely worth it if you're going for those Covenant Bookmarks. So it's 60% less. So it's like 60%, doing the math here, 65% of what you're gonna pay if you go directly into the pack. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're looking for Covenant Bookmarks, it's definitely gonna be a lot cheaper to go in and use Skystones for these Covenant Bookmarks instead of just going for the pack. So the difference between the two, I would say, if you just need packs right away, maybe you're on a timer, a banner's about to end, something like that, then you might go for packs. I never buy the packs as a free to play. I always just refresh the shop. So that's my tip to you. If you're going for Covenant Bookmarks or you're going for Mystic Metals, use your Skystones to refresh the shop. It's one of the biggest tips that I can give. It's something that I try to do every other day because it does get tedious trying to refresh the shop. And that's one of the downsides about refreshing the shop, is that you kind of have to sit there for a while. So I try to break it up, every couple of days. I'll refresh the shop a couple of times here and there, use a couple of Skystones. So that way over time, I'm able to save up and purchase these, and that way I don't have to sit there for half an hour doing refreshes, which sucks. It's not fun at all doing refreshes, but just kind of keep that in mind. If you're buying packs, don't buy packs. Refresh the shop, okay? Save Skystones, refresh the shop, because by refreshing the shop, not only do you get Covenant Bookmarks, but you get a chance at Mystic Metals. So that's always worth it. So let's take a quick look at why we're getting these Mystic Metals, right? What are we saving up for? So we're saving up for our boy ML Crow, code number 00. He hasn't debuted yet, but He's going to be dropping this Wednesday, September 2nd. Well, he's not going to be dropping, but we're going to get a preview of him. And I'm pretty sure he's going to drop right after Dark Corpus. So I have a big feeling he's going to be the next ML 5-star hero. So this is why we're trying to save up for ML Crown. So we currently have 163 summons left. It takes 200 summons to guarantee you this Moonlight 5-star hero. In order to get this Moonlight 5-star hero, after 200 summons, you need to have a certain amount of Mystic Medals. Okay, so let's look at the breakdown. So one Mystic Medal here, one Mystic Summon is 50 Mystic Medals, all right? So each pool is 50, right? If I wanted to spend Sky Stones to buy Mystic Medals, the only way to do that is through Hooch's Shop, right? Those pop up from time to time, and through Secret Shop Refresh. So those are the only two ways that you can actually purchase Mystic Medals with Sky Stones, right? So it's gonna take me about 200 Sky Stones roughly, right? That's the average. You might get a little bit less, a little bit more, but it'll take about 200 Sky Stones for you to get one pool. So you need 280,000 gold as well as those 200 Sky Stones. So, all right, what if I wanna guarantee myself Dark Corvus or ML Crown, right? We're going 200 summons without getting him, so we want to be sure that we pity him. So I believe it's 200 summons. It's either 200 or 201. I added 201 just in case, right? Never have too many Mystic Medals. So if you were to pity 200 Mystic Summons, it would actually take you 10,050 Mystic Medals. So without the 201, it's just 10,000 straight up. With the 201, it's 10,050. So if I were to refresh the shop and try to save or purchase 10,000 Mystic Medals, it would cost me about 40,200 Sky Stones, right? It's over 56 million gold. And that's only looking at Mystic Medals, right? That's not counting all the Covenant bookmarks that you're gonna come across, and maybe if you come across any epic gear that you might purchase, right? So for 201 summons, if you went strictly Secret Shop Refresh, you would need 40,200 Sky Stones and 56 million gold. So it's one of those things, like I mentioned, you really have a lot of gold and you need to have a good amount of Sky Stones. Now, would I recommend you refreshing the Secret Shop with 40,000 Sky Stones? No, I'm not gonna recommend that. However, if you have 40,000 Sky Stones and you really want a specific ML 5-star and you're willing to put in the time, can you get all the Mystic Medals from the Secret Shop that way? I mean, technically you could, right? You could sit there and refresh and refresh and refresh and refresh. But for the most part, for many of us, we're gonna refresh a little bit at a time. So it might take you a while to save up for that ML 5-star hero. But you gotta keep in mind that not only does the Secret Shop Refresh drop Mystic Medals, but it drops Covenant bookmarks, right? So you gotta also be prepared to pick those up. So just kind of keep that in mind. I know that I will be refreshing the shop like crazy a little bit over the course of the next, I think, 15 days that we have. That's about 2 weeks, because I want to save up for this ML Crow. I think I only have like 5,000 Mystic Medals right now, which is not enough to pity him at 163 summons. So I'm definitely going to be refreshing the shop. So those of you that might be new to the game, I will be dropping a how to get Mystic Medals video a little bit after this. So those of you that maybe need some help, I'm gonna put some tips in there, show you the top ways that you can get Mystic Medals. But hopefully this video helped you. Hopefully it gave you a bit of an insight. I know it's a lot of math. I like these tables. This is the best way that I could think of to really go over it. So hopefully it helps you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you noticed an error somewhere, just let me know. leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about refreshing the secret shop. Are you ready for ML Crow? Who are you saving up to pity? You know, in the end, you might get lucky and do a one pull on the Mystic Medal and boom, you got your ML 5-star, right? So who knows? One last thing before I move on. I did mention it, I think twice. Epic level 85 gear does drop in the secret shop. So as you're going and refreshing the shop, you do have a chance at getting level 85 epic gear. It is extremely expensive. I think it's about like 1.5 million to 2 million gold each piece, each gear, right? So for me, in 1,000 refreshes, I got 0. So that's why that's there. It really depends on whether or not you should buy any level 85 gear that's there. One, if it's not level 85, I would say pass, unless you're super early game. 2, you'll get level 85 gear that's not epic. I would say pass, unless you're super early. 3, only look at if it's a right side, it has to have percent main stat. 2, it shouldn't have any flat subs. And 3, it has to have, I would say, at least speed, or it has to have a main stat, like a set that you actually need. So if it's like a resist with an effectiveness main stat, then you don't want that, right? It's not anything that you're going to be able to use, especially at early game. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I don't want the video to be any longer than it needs to be. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, again, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to look out for that how to get Mystic Medals video coming soon. Like always, thanks for watching. If you happen to like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hey, think about subscribing. It definitely helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.